Hey everybody, today I want to talk about an email that I got asking me a question about what happens when you get an offer that's way lower than you were expecting. And I can relate to this because I had this happen to me once as well, where I was in a conversation with the hiring manager, and the hiring manager came back with a salary that was below the range that he personally had given me. So I'm Melissa Hereford, Negotiate with Confidence. Thanks for joining today. If you'd like to be sure to get my latest videos, make sure you subscribe if you're in the YouTube channel or like the page Negotiate with Confidence in Facebook. So today we're going to talk about what you do, some specific steps you can take when this happens to you. So here's what I did and what I advised this email, the person I got the email from, is the first thing you do is reinforce that you are excited about the job. So I'm really excited about this role. I'm looking forward to working with you. Two, that's the first thing. Two, mention one or two things that make you the perfect candidate for the job. As you know, based on my experience doing XYZ, I am a great candidate for this job. So you've said you're excited. You've reminded them of why you're the perfect candidate for the job, and then anchor a high number is number three. So when we last spoke, you mentioned a range of X and Y. You're not going to say that. What you're going to say is, when we last spoke, you mentioned the salary would be up to, and say the highest end of the range. The reason you do that is a negotiation skill called anchoring, and anchoring is really powerful. It puts in the mind of the other person the high number. So regardless of what the range was, start with the high number. Just try it. I promise you it will work. It's human nature. We can't help it. So intentionally mention the highest end of the range. Then ask them how they came up with the number that they gave you. So instead of making assumptions, which many of us do, which is to go into that internal dialogue in our head around, well, clearly I'm not worth it. They went back and looked at my qualifications and decided they weren't going to offer me as much because I suck. Instead of having that dialogue in your head, ask them, get curious, put on your reporter's hat, get out your microphone and say, hey, how did you come up with that number? And what they tell you will give you some really important information about what next question you're going to ask and how you're going to move forward. So after you have that information, step number 5 is asking what criteria you'd need to meet in order to get to the higher salary. So this is really clear and specific. So I'd like to get to the high end of that range. What do I need to do to get there? And then number 6 is ask to revisit in 6 months. Or a year, whenever you think you can reasonably hit some of that criteria to get to the next level. Just being clear about these things instead of making assumptions is going to help you to get further faster when you negotiate. So when you're surprised by that lower number. The hardest part of this is not reacting with emotion and not taking it personally. Take a step back and realize there's something else going on here. It's not about you and that you're not qualified for the job. If that's the truth, also, you want to know that, right? So getting curious and asking questions is going to help you figure out what's really going on. So I hope this was a helpful video. Again, you can subscribe in the YouTube channel or like the Negotiate with Confidence page. I'm Melissa Hereford. See you soon. Please share with your friends.